Hot topic for content creators. This is where I pitch a hot topic to you guys, and then you guys turn around and create your own content on said topic. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a little representation in fiction. That's right. That is the topic for tonight. The prompt is representation in fiction, and it's going to be on the subject of special interest groups specifically. Okay. People have been forming special interest groups within the writing and publishing sphere for quite some time. And within the last decade or so, the rise of extremely liberal groups like LGBTQIA+, alongside hardcore erotica communities and the like, have prompted the creation of new movements, like the one I'll be addressing tonight. Now, the reason why I think the concept of special interest groups is such a contentious subject has to do with all the alleged moral outrage that is often expressed, mostly, surprise, surprise, through social media. Individuals take to the internet to state whether they believe people should do this or shouldn't do that. The thing is, all that talk is more or less irrelevant within the creative space, because freedom of speech in artistic forms of expression, such as works of fiction, are protected within the ethical framework of the law. In other words, you're free to preach, bitch, moan, and complain while trying to draw a line in the sand, but you can bet your ass, as soon as you do, there's going to be a group of writers out there ready to cross it. Most people with a brain are aware of this. There's always been those folks who aim to push the boundaries of what's considered socially acceptable. And I will say that fiction, for the most part, depending on the time period and where you live, has served as a safe medium for certain groups to explore those boundaries. It is possible that there are also some special interest groups out there that may think, hey, if what we're doing is wrong, then it would be illegal. And I suppose some people could see that as a sign of having no moral compass. But again, that would make their outrage a metaphysical argument or a metaphysical matter. When it comes to the arts and entertainment, there's only two camps when it comes to getting up in arms over moral issues. There are those who are for freedom of speech, and there are those who are for censorship. So hashtag Protect Clean Fiction is a movement started by a young lady who is fed up with smut being written into books targeted towards young readers. To my surprise, this image that has been making the rounds on Twitter and Instagram has been receiving quite a bit of backlash from adults who come from some of those groups I mentioned earlier. I believe the girl who started this movement is actually a teenager. So to see grown adults coming at her for wanting to organize a group of authors who write clean fiction seems quite sus, if we're to be honest. Many of the responses that I read online were from individuals who write erotica or come from the SJW type crowd, and were trying to accuse this effort as an attempt to censor or shame those who like to write sex on the page. I thought that was pretty rich coming from those who actively engage in cancel culture behavior. The reason why I find this new special interest group so amusing isn't because of the cause itself, but because so many people seem to be missing the point here. The movement isn't about bolstering moral outrage, it's about encouraging people to take action, to do something positive and productive within a creative atmosphere that offers the same freedom of speech protections that all those other special interest groups get to enjoy. I think if a bunch of young individuals feel as though they need to come together and form a special interest group in order to simply enjoy some entertainment that doesn't contain some peculiar fetish, promote kinky behavior, or propagate perverted sensibilities, then I say more power to them. Have fun, kids. Have you heard of hashtag protect clean fiction? And what do you think about that? I think the fact that a teenager is responsible for starting this movement is quite telling in regard to today's societal standards, I have to say. It certainly makes one think, that's for sure.